Welcome into Around the Felt. I am your host, Reagan Loescher. Here with me today is my co-host, Colin Tongue, as well as a packed house, I'd say. We got Mr. Locke over there, Drock himself.
That's what I meant.
Fresh pair of specs. Wanna let people know what happened there? Now. Good to hear. We got Joe behind camera number 1.
Yo, what's up?
And then we got Caleb behind camera number 2.
Yes, sir.
And yeah, Garrett and Zach could not be with us today. They're at college.
They're at school, so, it's nothing new, Reagan. But I don't know about you, man. I am very excited for this weekend. We got 4 games coming up, and it should be exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited. A lot of people have been asking me to release my bracket. Obviously, you did yours last week, and I'm going to give out my first and only bracket this week.
Yeah, Reagan got a mulligan on his entire bracket, and I was just picking it back up in a new round because both his teams in the Super Bowl are eliminated.
Breakfast ball, right?
Some of us still have all 4 of our teams in the conference championship still alive. So,
well, some of us
I can stick with my first
All
bracket.
right. Well, when you say, you should have 2 out of your 4. You took 2 teams on a bye. So.
I have all 4.
Yeah, but 2 of them were on bye, so you went 2 of 2.
Yeah, well.
Good. Job well done.
Yeah, I'm still alive.
Job well done. Job finished? No.
Job finished? I don't think so.
No. Mm-mm.
All right, Reagan, not a lot of news in the docket for today, considering we recorded yesterday. But the big news, the Cowboys announced that McCarthy will return as the head coach. A lot of speculation this week. Could Jerry Jones make a switch, considering that embarrassing performance against Green Bay? Reagan, is this a smart move by Dallas? Would you have moved on from McCarthy?
I don't know, because it's a weird move, because at the end of the day, it's like the dude was 12-5 every single year as their coach. Got him into the playoffs. So it's like they haven't gotten over the gap, but at the same point, it's not just him to blame. The defense had its issues. Dak didn't step up. There are a lot of issues here, and if he truly is a locker room guy, it definitely helps that Dak kind of came out in support of him, and that also could be that he's trying to save his own ass, and he's like, look, I don't want people blaming me, so I'll defend McCarthy and kind of put all that hate towards him. But I don't know. I would say for sure this is their last year if they can't at least make it into the NFC Championship, right? It's got to be NFC Championship or bust at this point with him.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. McCarthy did a phenomenal job this year, taking over that Dallas offense. A lot of people speculated that they're going to take a step back without Kellen Moore, that McCarthy was going to run an old-school type of offense and pound the rock, and Pollard was actually less effective this year than he was last year in Kellen Moore's offense, and Dak really took off, CeeDee Lamb really took off, contrary to belief. So there's no doubt McCarthy's a quality head coach. 12 wins, 3 consecutive seasons is very impressive. Not many coaches in this league have done that. I don't know. Definitely on the hot seat going to next year. They need to make a run in the playoffs. It's not get to the divisional round next year and he keeps his job. I think Jerry Jones realizes he's getting up there in age and he needs to bring a Super Bowl back to Dallas. And is McCarthy going to be the one to do it with Dak? I have my doubts because they embarrass themselves every year. They just shit themselves in the playoffs. So as a Giants fan, I hope they extend Dak because Dak's good enough for them to win games but not good enough for them to win a title. And with McCarthy, I don't think they can get it done. Yeah,
and obviously in other news, Mark Andrews today was listed as a full participant in practice. So.
Mark Andrews is back. Now, As someone, this might be a hot take, I think Isaiah Likely is just as good as Mark Andrews. Call me crazy. Every time he's stepped in for Andrews, he's balled out. And I have Isaiah Likely in my Dynasty League, so I want Likely to get as many touches as possible. Andrews also getting up there in age, but there's no doubt when you get a guy back like Mark Andrews for your playoff run, it's definitely a boost to the offense. I'd like to see them run some 2 tight end sets, considering how Likely has looked. And if you have Likely and Andrews, Flowers, and Odell on the field, I think that's their best combination of weapons they could put out there.
Yeah, I would definitely call that a hot take and crazy one at that because at the end of the day, Mark Andrews was a Pro Bowler. Isaiah Likely, we have seen flashes, but he's not a Pro Bowl caliber talent yet. Could he get to that point? Sure.
I think he has the talent to.
Yes.
He hasn't had the opportunity to.
Yes, but to say he's better than Andrews of the same caliber yet is a little crazy to me.
I didn't say better.
Can he get there? Can he get there? Sure. Can he get there?
Sure.
With the volume and the full-time role? Sure. But at this moment in time, he's not better than Mark Andrews.
I just would like to see the volume. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. And it'll be interesting to see what this offense looks like with Mark Andrews back because Lamar likes to over-target him a lot. He's his favorite target by far. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like with him back in the fold. But I do assume that they'll run a lot more personnel with 2 tight end sets.
I'd have to agree with you. The Falcons are big fish hunting for their head coaching search, interviewing Jim Harbaugh. And this is after interviewing Bill Belichick.
Who's next, Vrabel?
I would not be surprised if Arthur Blank brought in Vrabel next. I think he wants one of those 3. Reagan, do you see Harbaugh in Atlanta?
I could see it. I don't know. It's so hard to say because there's so many, like, it is a good situation. Like, they have a really good defense, and then, like, the offense, obviously, it wasn't amazing last year, but the talent is certainly there. So it's definitely one of the more attractive jobs to me. It's in a bigger market. So, yeah, I could definitely see it happening.
I know I said in my blog about the head coaching vacancies that if Harbaugh were to take the Raiders job, because they seem very interested, that could be a potential landing spot for McCarthy. Now it seems like Antonio Pierce is going to get that job, considering Max Crosby threatened to request a trade. Now, would McCarthy fit in at Atlanta? They need a quarterback. They're picking in the middle of the first round where we could see McCarthy potentially go.
I mean, he could even slip to the second or third round. Or probably not the third, but he could slip to the second, you know?
He could slip to the second. I don't think he'd go to the third, Reagan, just because it came out today that he talked to the Giants and one other team, actually. And because you can ask teams now, like, where do you see me getting drafted? Like, what are your grades?
Okay.
And the Giants and one other team, I forget the other team, had a first round grade on him, supposedly, if that's true.
Also,
and that's a big reason he declared for the draft, because he thinks he will be a first round pick. But like you mentioned, so did Will Levis last year. He slipped to the second.
And think about it. In the past, we've seen teams come back in the trade so they can get that fifth-year option, like Lamar.
That could definitely
quarterback
be an
we were just
option
talking
as well.
about.
Yes.
Because you trade back into the first, you get that fifth-year option. So if somebody really loves McCarthy and doesn't want to wait till the second, we could see them trade back in to come get him and get that the fifth-year option.
The fifth-year option.
Yeah. So I wouldn't be shocked there at all because I do think that is a good situation. And, hey, if you could pair Harbaugh with his quarterback that got him his first ever college title, but also one of the most winning quarterbacks in college, I think he'd go for it.
Yeah, I think that's a big – I didn't even think about it till now. I think that could really appeal to Harbaugh.
And then maybe Blake Corum goes there too. Bye-bye, Najee.
We're talking about Atlanta.
Yeah. Blake Corum to the
said
Falcons.
Najee.
Or Bijan, sorry.
I don't think that's in the cards, my friend. But
no.
I mean, they have Algier 2 more years on a rookie deal that's very cheap, and then they have Bijan Robinson, who just took 8th overall. I don't think.
Yeah, but I don't know. That Bijan guy's not very good.
Yeah, I mean, that's a crazy take. I don't know. I really liked Atlanta for Justin Fields, but I don't know. I don't know if Chicago's gonna move Fields. They might ransom that first pick again.
I wouldn't.
So
definitely
I
ransom
think
it. It
if
clearly worked
Harbaugh
out
takes
last
that
time.
job, McCarthy to Atlanta. All right, Drock. What do we got for questions today?
Austie, coming in hot, first question.
Our boy Austie.
Which team has the best chance to upset their opponent this weekend? Good question.
Austie, I will go the Green Bay Packers. No, not the best. If we're going to go the best chance? Yeah, if we're going to go the best chance, it's obviously the Chiefs because it's the smallest spread. So by mathematics, I'll let the finance guy break it down. Mr. Finance.
Yeah, the Buffalo's a 3-point favorite. So when you take in consideration, usually a home team gets 3 points. They're saying on a neutral field to be a pick 'em.
Yeah.
So not huge of an upset. I think Tampa Bay, man. I mean, we'll get into it, but the way Baker's slanging that thing, I like Tampa Bay against that very vulnerable.
Spit it out, Junior.
vulnerable Detroit secondary.
Anyway, I'm going to go with the Packers. I'm going to go with the Packers in this situation. I will highlight a little bit more why I'm so bullish on this team, but let's just say there's going to be confetti coming down the streets of Lambeau.
The streets of Lambeau? That's the name of the stadium. It's not a street, my boy.
What do you want to go? What's the street directly?
Geography is not your thing.
All right,
Mr.
what's the
Hudson
street
River.
called? What's the street called? What's the street called?
I don't know what it's called.
All right, so how do you not know it's called? Maybe it's Stadium Drive, Lambeau Drive.
You
Lambeau
could have just
Street.
said confetti will be coming down in Green Bay or in Wisconsin.
No, it's going to be coming down in the stadium, baby. Why? How do you know?
They're
Fact check
playing They're playing at home in the Super Bowl? Is that a new thing?
In my world, it is, yes. In my world, the bracket number 2.
Let's move on. Drock, what do we got next?
I was trying to look up if there's a Lambeau Drive.
Yeah, come on, hold on.
Couldn't find it. Next question.
Oh, all right. Well, you probably checked Waze or something.
We'll get back to it.
Jeez,
whose stock has gone up after last week's performance?
Stock up?
Even in a loss, I mean, freaking Puka, dude, to come in and go for 180 yards as a rookie, like, his stock's already crazy, but, I mean, he's got to be going up and up in the conversation of, like, is he, like, to me, he's already top 10, right? Like, at this point? I mean, he's had a dominant season.
Yeah.
And then to come into the playoffs where it's like, all right, a lot of rookies, like, teams will adjust it to the playoffs and go for 180. I mean, he was breaking tackle after tackle, so he's a guy where his stock's up. Obviously, Baker's an obvious choice to say after his dominant game. You could say
Lombardi Ave is the main street.
Oh!
Lombardi
Oh, so I was close. Lambeau, Lombardi, Coast Lombardi. Like, you know what?
It's a Stadium Drive, but other than that, that's
Stadium Drive. All right. So, like, stadium. And what's the stadium called?
Lambeau.
Lambeau.
Reagan, I don't know what you're going for.
I'm just saying, like, there was a chance I would have been right.
Can I give my answer to the question?
Yes.
Can you stop rambling? I'd like to actually answer the question that Rock asked, if you don't mind. Is that okay, Reagan?
You just said, can I stop rambling, and then talked for another 10 seconds about how I need to stop rambling.
Stock up Nico Collins, because he showed out on the big stage, and he's been very good all year, but underrated name coming out of Michigan. Didn't really do much his first 2 years, given the quarterback situation. Nico Collins is 8th in the league in receiving yards this year and 8th in receiving touchdowns. Like a legitimate wide receiver 1. So after doing that on the big stage, if he can follow it up in Baltimore this weekend and him and Stroud go off again, he's going to shoot up fantasy draft boards next year.
Yeah, for sure.
Now we got a felt versus fan question. Which QB has the most turnovers in a single playoff game?
Is it somewhat recent or no? Is there an answer?
Do you know who
There's
the
an
quarterback
answer.
is?
Yeah, I don't think it's recent, though.
Do you know the name of the guy? Like, looking at it, do you know
Once,
who it is?
Mm-hmm.
You definitely
Just
know
because
one
Drock
guy.
doesn't know it.
Oh, wait, there's two?
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
two.
Actually, you know both names, but one's more obvious.
Yeah, one is more obvious.
Jameis Winston.
Did he even make the playoffs?
The guy just throws a ton of picks.
Josh
No,
Allen?
like the-
Did Josh Allen? Josh Allen probably had one.
Not
Didn't
like
he?
obvious as in like you like know the name of the quarterback. Not like obvious as in this one was like super known for throwing turnovers.
Oh, I want to go Alex Smith.
No.
This guy's known for a lot of turnovers.
No, he's not. Like he had him, but like that wasn't like
Brady?
Nope.
This is a tough one, man. Most picks.
Big Ben?
you
Nope.
definitely won't get one of them.
Peyton Manning.
Yeah, I wouldn't know the other guy.
Yeah.
All right, who is it?
Carson Palmer
Okay.
Okay.
and Jake Delhomme.
Jake
Delhomme. Yeah, I was never gonna guess those two, but we know him. We know him.
I mean, yeah, I remember Carson Palmer. He was sick on the Cardinals, and I remember when the Jets spanked that ass
Bengals,
back-to-back
yeah.
weeks in Cincinnati. Week 18 spanked it. And then we went in there in the wild card ride and spanked that ass again. Mark Sanchez, baby. I think that may have actually been against the Jets, to be honest. So, big fan here.
All right, it's off to Jerry.
What's up, Bear?
What up, Bear?
Jerry asked, do y'all like weather games or do you prefer a dome?
I prefer a dome, man. I want to see points.
Jared wants.
When I'm betting those overs, I want points, man. Give me a dome. Also, though, it is cool being in the elements. Like, I like that MetLife is outdoors because, you're out there cold with your boys, You're kind of supporting them more.
Well, if from a fan perspective, if I'm going to the game, yeah, I'd rather sit in the dome. I don't want to go sit in the fucking rain.
I don't. When you're in
It's
the
not football
elements,
weather.
when you're in the elements, I kind of like it. But when I'm watching on TV and I have the overs, like, yeah, give me a dome.
Yeah, but like when I'm at the game, like I like to feel my fingers and I don't like to be like a wet rat. Like you guys went to the Jets-Giants game and like
You
we're
went
just
there
getting like
too.
pissed on. Yeah, but at least my team won. Like I walked out like I'm pissed. I'm like a wet rat, but at least my team won. And Drock's just like I just danced like a clown and I'm wet.
I just hate when I bring someone to a game and they complain about the weather. Like, dude, we're here. We're in the elements. Like, let's fucking go. Let's root for the boys. Like, we're here.
Well, that's just why I don't bring people to the games. Like if you're gonna complain, you're just not coming.
I like the weather games. It's a good build-up.
Were you the guy who complains? Is that why you're saying
No,
that?
he's not. He's
Yeah.
not one of them.
Definitely not one of them.
And then obviously as a fan, like yeah, I'd rather watch. Well, as a gambler, I prefer the dome. As a fan, just like watching, like yeah, I think everyone loves a good snow game. It's really fun to watch. But yeah, good question,
All
Jared.
right, we're hopping
Good
to
question.
Mr. Kenneth Sisson. Are you buying into the Jordan Love or Packers hype, or will their run come to an end in San Fran this weekend?
Mr. Pop-Tart, I think he was quoted as being
Yeah.
named before. I am
And Saquon.
definitely bought into the Love hype. I don't know how you can be bought into the hype of Love, but also I'm definitely bought into the Packers. I do think they could win the Super Bowl. Actually, no, I know they're winning the Super Bowl. I saw the script.
You've been saying that, and it hasn't worked out for you.
All right, you know what? Fine.
Another fake
I think
one.
the 49ers are beating the Bills.
That's what I have.
Yeah, so looks like we're both wrong.
It sounds like my co-host here has found love with Jordan Love, so I'm happy for you. It's been a long time coming. You finally found someone. I'm definitely buying into Jordan Love hype. He's legit. He's been a top 10 quarterback this season with a supporting cast that is very young, so for him to elevate those guys around him is very impressive. That's sign number one of being a franchise quarterback. The Packers are running into a buzzsaw this weekend, though, in San Francisco that is well rested. They're prepared, and they're just much more talented. I think that Packers defense, although it's gotten on track the past 2 or 3 weeks, is going to get ran over this weekend by Christian McCaffrey and Brandon Ayuk. A little teaser. I'm high on Ayuk this week.
I will say the over is going to hit in this game because Green Bay's offensive line has been playing very well right now, so I think they're going to be able to move the ball a lot, Green Bay.
Let's see what they do against
even if the
Nick Bosa and
49ers
Chase
win,
Young.
but I fully expect this game to hit the over.
Are you on the over? You're on the under?
I forget what I picked, to be honest with you.
All right. Fantasy question. Would you ever consider dropping a DK or FanDuel daily fantasy best lineup that people can ride?
I mean, I'm into those platforms.
I used to do those. Those are fun. With the salaries, you build your roster for the day.
I like doing the underdog leagues like I were talking about, which is
we
similar
should
to
do
that.
I
said that in the beginning. I did say that early on. That's why. But best ball too for next year is something you definitely got to look into as well. They're fun to do. But yeah, we could do one.
Okay. Now he's got a betting question for us. Is Bills -3 a horse cock lock?
No, it is not.
I have the Bills, but I'm very nervous about Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs.
Yeah. I don't know how you could call anytime a team's favored against the Chiefs, it's definitely not a horse cock lock, let's be honest.
Mahomes is I actually have a crazy Mahomes stat, but I want to save it for later. But yeah, just because the Chiefs are underdogs doesn't mean they're not going to win, because they're very good at winning when they're underdogs. So I'm skeptical of this game. I picked Buffalo to make the Super Bowl before the bracket, so I'm sticking with it. But Chiefs do scare the shit out of me. Definitely not a horse cock lock.
Okay, let's hop to Mr. Chad Singleton. Shout out, Chad.
What up, Chad?
Chad.
He asks, why in the world did Reagan think the Browns were going to win the Super Bowl?
My co-host got hit in the head too many times when he was a star football player for Voorhees High School. That's what.
Chad, I actually don't remember taking the Browns. Everyone's been requesting me to put out my bracket, and I said I've been on Green Bay the whole time, so it just sounds like you're making stuff up. But sometimes you got to take risks, Chad. If you want me to be one of those guys that just fits into the societal norm and takes the favorite to win the Super Bowl in the 49ers, I'll do that for you. But you know what? I took a risk. It didn't pay off, but I'm a risk taker on this show, and I'm gonna play my brand of ball always. This time it burnt me, but I'll be back next year.
Good answer.
That's a hot take.
He's got a fantasy.
What, you calling for me to be dead?
Who's the best person when it comes to fantasy football? And he's probably saying this because he won our fantasy league this year.
No, he's chirping you, Drock.
Quick question, Drock, fetch me my belt. Well, maybe you're better than Drock.
I should have brought my trophy.
Nobody gives a shit because we're not in that league. In the league Colin and Drock are in, I won a belt. But Chad and whoever else beat up on Drock. Yeah, it's fun to beat up on him. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's easy with Drock, man. It's easy. And Colin needs to play in his cupcake leagues with the TC and J boys to get a ring. When he plays with the big dogs, he ends up just ordering hardware for the champ. So, yeah. But hopefully that answers your question. I mean, would you like to elaborate? But I would let you have the floor. But you've never gotten one of those, so
I don't have that belt, but I do have a trophy in a league that was more competitive than our league.
Clearly not, because you didn't win our league, so clearly not.
I didn't win it this year, but I got the roster. We'll be fine.
Oh, okay.
All right, now he's got a betting question. Who has the best odds to win the Super Bowl? And I'm sure he's asking, what should you be buying in on right now?
The best odds are the 49ers currently. Now, I would say the Green Bay. I mean,
oh my God, we're beating a dead horse, man.
No.
Where's your cheese head? You're gonna keep jerking. Oh.
If they win the Super Bowl,
PG stream.
If they win the Super Bowl, you have to buy a cheesehead.
Oh, I'm 100% buying a cheesehead if they win.
Did you put money on them to win it?
No, but I will now, so I have money to pay for my cheesehead.
That's what I'm saying. If you're gonna, roll the dice. I just think it's gonna be funny when your bracket's busted after this week. Your second bracket.
Why is that funny?
Have you even talked about the second bracket? Have we even seen it yet?
I will go over it in the next segment, but for now, I guess I still feel like Baltimore has a very good chance to win. I feel like everyone's talking a lot about the Bills and 49ers right now, and Baltimore, just with having the bye week, they're not getting a lot of love right now. So I think Baltimore's still a team that I could see winning. I don't have the odds up in front of me. Does anyone have the Soupy odds?
I really want to say
Packers are plus 3,000.
Oh, you hear that?
The Bills are plus 500. I think the Ravens are
Gross.
plus 240. and then the Niners are like plus 170.
Okay, actually, in terms of do not bet on the Niners and do not bet on the Ravens. And if they're plus 240, I mean, at the end of the day, those odds suck. They suck.
The Niners are like plus 170.
If the Niners are plus 170, that's even worse. Like, just take them in the Super Bowl and, like, just take their spread in the Super Bowl. Like, plus 170 is not worth the risk. There's still so many teams left.
I would not touch plus 170, man.
That is disgusting. Even plus 240 on the Ravens isn't good. Like,
So it's like plus 4, like a high 4 something.
yeah, maybe Kansas City, honestly.
Yeah,
right?
if you want value, like pick your poison with the Buffalo-Kansas City game.
But also take your shot on one of the NFC teams, too.
I don't
Easier
know.
path.
I just think
it
is an easier path, but I just think the San Francisco 49ers are a buzzsaw, and I think the winner of... I mean, the Bills have been scorching hot, and you never want to go against the Chiefs in the playoffs, even though I am, but like it's just not... It's not a smart business decision.
Yeah, one of you guys want to look?
So, I mean, I think the Chiefs, if you're trying to find value, man, like, everyone counted them out all year. It's still Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid and Travis Kelce in the playoffs. Like, you know what I mean? It could be a good value if you think they're going to beat Buffalo. But if you think Buffalo's going to win, then I'd ride Buffalo if you want some value.
All right, now he's got a segment or punishment idea. Take 6 shooters of Fireball, then immediately do the Warrior Run. You said Drock knows what it is. In college, I think it was like 150-yard suicide, and you got to do it under like 2 minutes. Drock was a 4-year champion, but now he's saying to take 6 shooters before you do it.
You did it with 6 shooters?
No, not 6 shooters, but like it was something you had to do to basically like be on the team. It was pretty intense. Like kids would throw up like without the fireballs, obviously. But it's just
How long is the run?
It's like a 2-minute. You got to get it done in 2 minutes. I think it's like I want to say 150-yard suicide.
So it's basically just like...
Do you know what a suicide... That's like...
There and back. Yeah, it's like 150 yards.
Yeah, there and back isn't a suicide. A suicide
No, I'm
run
saying,
is
like, in
5
total.
back, 10 back,
In
50
total,
back.
you're running
In total,
150
it's
yards.
The
150
total
yards.
So it's
150
like
yards.
to like the 50...
It's like
40.
25,
It's
30.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it would be to the 50 back, to the 40 back, to the
Yeah.
30 back, to the 20 back, to the 10 back.
Yeah,
and
something
'cause
like that.
That adds up to 150.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it would be, yeah.
Mhm.
So we just go to a football field and do that.
Yeah.
I mean, under 2 minutes, it definitely seems tough, but that's definitely not the punishment. I'd say more of just the drinking, yeah.
6 shooters is tough, man.
I don't-
But fireball shooters easy to get down.
The shooters are in the 2 minutes, so like it's like you drink all 5 in like the first minute, and then you have a minute to do the suicides. Is that
No. I think you got to do...
You just chug it, and
You
then you
got to
have 2
do
minutes to
the
run.
6 shooters. As soon as you finish the 6th shooter, clock starts, go.
Okay.
I don't even think we need a clock, to be honest. Like, at the end of the day, just, like, chugging the shooters, and then just, like, you have to sprint. Like, you can't jog.
The clock helps. You got something
you
to
need to do
raise
the clock.
towards.
I
I mean,
mean,
if you don't get it, you just got to do it again the next week.
I need a different
No,
time
that's-
than you.
no.
You got to do it until you get
right
under.
Right after. You
I
fail
need-
it like 4 times.
You go until you pass.
Yeah, you got to keep doing it.
What? Why do you think you need a different time than me?
Because you're fast.
I don't
Reagan,
know.
you can do it, man.
I think you can get it done. There's some kids on our team who are out of shape. You got
Chiefs are plus 700.
That is pretty good value.
Wow.
I also don't want to do fireball. I want to do a different shooter.
Well, that's all the questions we got from
But
the fans.
I kind of like that. That's a great punishment, Chad. That's
Thank you,
definitely what we
Chad.
do
All right,
soon.
guys, we're going to take a quick break. Then we're going to jump into Reagan's 2.0 bracket.
Here at Around the Felt,
We only drink the best.
All right, guys, welcome back in. You all have been begging me in the comments, Reagan, please put out a bracket. And I was like, well, I wanted to only let Colin put out a bracket. But you know what? I decided I will put out my first bracket of the year. As you can see,
Cap.
As you can see, I was correct here. I picked the Texans over the Browns. I mean, that was a lock. And then the Bucks over the Eagles. I mean, come on. Who the hell would say Browns and Eagles? Not this guy. Definitely not this guy. But all right, guys, let's get into it. So, we got the Ravens and the Texans. What happens here? The Ravens, they keep moving on. C.J. Stroud just shows why he's a rookie, struggles in this game. And Baltimore shows why they're a dominant team, why they are the number 1 seed. They move on. Then on this seed, come on. Patrick Mahomes? Am I going to doubt him? No. I mean, the dude just has gone to Super Bowl after Super Bowl.
Reagan, I have a question.
I am explaining.
I have a question. In your Reagan's playoff picture 1.0, you had Buffalo over Kansas City. What made you switch?
So what made me switch? The biggest thing was, honestly, what I saw from Kansas City was not what we saw from them a lot in the regular season. They honestly dominated a good Miami team on all fronts. And yes, a lot of that does have to deal with the cold. But the fact that they played as well as they did gave me more confidence that where if the game was a lot lower scoring and they just squeaked by, I would have stuck with the Bills. But I'm like, you know what? I get to make another bracket. I mean, I get to send out my first bracket. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go with Patrick Mahomes. So, yeah, I have them getting it done. I think this game is a high-scoring shootout, but I lean Mahomes here just because he's done it before. Josh Allen, unfortunately, hasn't done it. But this game is huge for Josh Allen. We talked about it. Dak Prescott, it was huge for him. He choked. He's out. Josh Allen, he's got to get it done. It's got to be at least to the Super Bowl this year, right? At this point? I think we can say,
but Buffalo's got to stop falling short, man. It's a big game for Josh Allen.
So, in one of these years, he's got to get past Mahomes because it's always been Mahomes. All right, now on this side, we got the Packers versus the 49ers. The Packers looked great last week. You know what? I'm buying into the cheese. Get me my cheese head. I want one right now. The Packers are going to get it done here. The O-line's been playing great. Jordan Love has been playing out of his mind. Like Aaron Rodgers who? Brett Favre who? Watch out. Jordan Love is in town, and he ain't leaving. He's here to stay. Throw him that contract. He's going to get it done. Aaron Jones has been running rampant, and I think with the offensive line, this game is going to be super high scoring, but I think the Packers get it done, and I like what Joe Barry has been doing with this defense. People were calling for his jobs, but the defense is figuring it out because while you look at the scoreboard, Dallas did put up 32, 16 game in garbage time, so yeah, great defensive performance.
Oh,
yes.
Reagan, I have a question. So Aaron
And I have
Jones,
an answer.
He's been tearing it up recently. Do you think he could be a difference maker, a winning factor for the Packers in this game?
Oh, he certainly can. I think he easily goes for over 100 yards. Easily. And I don't throw that around like nothing. I think he goes for over 100 yards and 2 touchdowns. Oh, what, you're saying I slang around that easily thing?
Well,
Maybe.
He's at 100 yards plus in what, 4 straight games?
4 straight games. What does he do? He makes it 5. What does Jock say? Salamat! All right, now, Lions-Bucks. I think the Lions get it done. Yes, I was harping on how bad this Lions team was, and the main reason was because of their defense. But the defense is making me eat crow here. I'm going to eat the crow. The defense has been stepping up. I think they get it done here. I just think the Lions are much more talented than the Buccaneers. I think the Cinderella story of Baker Mayfield ends here. I'm sorry, Colin. You can buy him an apology shot on me. But, yeah, I think the Lions get it done here. So then we got a classic Ravens versus Chiefs game on this side. I think the Ravens get it done here. They're the better team. I think Harbaugh has a good game plan here, and I think Mahomes comes up just short because I really just think the Ravens are better all around, and I think this defense is just so good. And then we got a classic division matchup here. Green Bay versus the Lions. And guess what, Detroit? 20 years of another elite quarterback, and it starts in the NFC Championship when Jordan Love rips your fans' hearts out and keeps you guys just short of the Super Bowl, and you have to wait another 50 years. I'm sorry. So then we get to the Super Bowl, and the Packers get it done. I get my cheese head. I'm smiling. Trust my bracket. I never said the Browns. I said the Texans. It just got edited, and the same with the Eagles. So I'll meet you guys at the cash register.
I got a lot of pushback on this. First off, Aaron Jones easily running for over 100 against the Niners.
Easily.
The number 2 ranked rushing defense in football, allowing 3.4 yards per carry.
Green Bay's
Fred Warner,
offensive line has been
Javon
on fire.
Kinlaw, Chase Young, Nick Bosa.
Yeah,
easily.
I'm pumped.
Easily?
You'll see. Just wait.
Okay.
I'm pumped.
2,
I can't wait.
I still can't get over you flipping KC and Buffalo because you said KC was going to beat Miami. They did. You said Buffalo was going to beat Pittsburgh. They did. And now you just flipped. I don't like that.
Well,
2,
let me explain. Because Buffalo didn't look as good as they should have against Pittsburgh.
They were up 21-0.
And then they let Pittsburgh back into the game.
Yeah. 3rd. This is the same dude that's been calling the Lions frauds for the past 6 weeks, saying they're losing the first round. Now all of a sudden you have them in the NFC Championship game?
I said I'm going to eat my crow. I said it. Their defense has been playing a lot better.
I
was a man of my word. I didn't. I did say
a lot of flip-flopping. That's all I'm saying. A lot of flip-flopping.
Well, when you're on bracket number 2, sometimes you got to flip and sometimes you got to flop.
All right. That's my pushback.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Your pushback is warranted. But at the end of the day, I had to make another bracket.
I think you just picked against Buffalo and San Francisco because I have them in the finals and you're pissed and you want them to get knocked out. So
yes, I took the Packers because I am very pissed at Yale. That is why.
I think it's a factor.
To win the Super Bowl, I don't know if that's a you factor. I also am a man of juice, and they got the juice. And I also want a cheese head when they win.
You're also a man that likes to donate to Vegas, apparently. But that's fine.
Don't we all? They always win at the end of the day. Unless it's a wheel spin. Oh, you know what? Hell, maybe I'll just throw all 8 teams up on the wheel and let the wheel decide my bracket.
Honestly, it's not a bad strategy.
All right, guys. We'll see you after this break. Actually, I don't know. Fuck me. All right, no break. Let's just keep going. It doesn't matter. No break, guys.
Just cut that.
Like after that whole thing, I'm just so hyped up, and I forgot we're not taking a break here. I'm amped up. All right, so let's get into it.
That's my co-host. All right, let's break down the first game of the weekend. Houston at Baltimore. Ravens 9-point favorite at home. The over/under set at 43.5. Reagan, I know you're taking Baltimore. Is Houston going to cover?
No, they're not. Baltimore dominates in this game. 30-10 is what I said. 30-10 here. I think the Ravens roll here. I think it's a lot of wishful thinking with Stroud, and while he is legit and he's next up, like if he's not already there, I just think it's a lot to ask for him to go into Baltimore, who's had all the rest. And honestly, I mean, this Baltimore team is dominant, and I faded him a lot this year, and I said it a while ago. I'm done fading him.
This is a huge game for Lamar Jackson, considering he is 1-3 in the playoffs. He's most likely going to have a second MVP under his belt. You got to get down to the postseason at this point. You can't just be a regular season quarterback. Baltimore is coming in hot. They're coming in rested. They won 6 of their last 7 to end the regular season, with that only loss being in Week 18 when they rested everybody. However, I'm taking Houston to cover. C.J. Stroud has been slanging that thing to Nico Collins. The defense has played really well. Derek Stingley has found his footing. He gets overshadowed by Sauce Gardner, considering he's picked right in front of him, but Stingley's legit, and that defense has come together under DeMeco Ryans. Lamar is also 1-9 against the spread in games in which the Ravens are favored by 7 or more. Take Houston to cover, but at the end of the day, Baltimore's too good. They get it done at home. Next, Reagan, your Packers, apparently Mr. Cheesehead, are at the Niners. Niners, 9.5-point favorite, the biggest favorite on the slate. I know you mentioned why you took Green Bay. Would you like to elaborate a little bit more here?
Yeah, it's honestly more so in the dominating fashion they did. They just destroyed Dallas, so I think the 9.5 straight, first off, is very disrespectful. Even if Green Bay doesn't win here, I feel very confident that they cover. I mean, come on, This team just beat Dallas on the road, and they were 7.5-point underdogs, and then you're going to give them more points on the road when Jordan Love's been on fire. Aaron Jones has been on fire. The offensive line is protecting Love, giving him time, opening holes for Jones. So I think the offense is a big day, and I honestly think Joe Barry's defense does enough to limit the 49ers, but I do think it's high scoring. I think Green Bay squeaks by with an Anders Carlson game-winning field goal to win 33-30 to send them Niners packing.
I'm taking the Niners to win and cover the fat spread. It was a great performance by Jordan Love and the boys last week, and I highlighted on last week's pod how good Jordan Love has been on the road. However, this Niners defense is a different animal. I also really want to highlight Brandon Ayuk this week. I'm telling you guys right now, my parlay pick will be Brandon Ayuk. He's been on fire to end the season with games of 113, 114, and 126 yards from weeks 14 to 17 before barely playing in week 18. Green Bay plays a lot of zone. Brandon Ayuk, according to Pro Football Focus, is the number 3 ranked wide receiver versus zone. Also, Jair Alexander re-aggravated his ankle against Dallas. Is he going to be ready to go? Is he going to be at full strength? Because they're going to need him with Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk out wide. I'm targeting Brandon Ayuk in this game. His over in yards. McCaffrey scores. Ayuk scores. Kittle scores. Niners roll. 31-13.
Disrespectful. I will say, one of these teams is going on a run, whether it's the Bucs, whether it's the Texans, whether it's the Packers. Yeah, between those 3, one of these teams will be going on a run here. I feel like the way sports have been going the past couple of years, and not just in the NFL, we've been seeing a lot of Cinderella teams going on these magical runs. The Miami Heat in the NBA. We saw San Diego State and UConn, 2 5 seeds. So
I just don't see how.
It's the year. It is the and FAU at the 9.
And Diamondbacks.
And the Diamondbacks. All I'm saying is, it's the year of the runs. It is the year of the runs.
I just don't see how March Madness correlates to the NFL playoffs.
I'm just saying it's the year of underdog sports runs. Am I wrong?
That's the narrative you want to push.
Am I wrong?
Okay.
Oh, I'm pushing it. I'm pushing them cheeseheads to the Super Bowl. And they win it. It's the year of the underdog, baby.
All right, Reagan. Tampa Bay, Detroit. Those frauds. Now all of a sudden you're backing them. Why? Lions 6-point favorite in this one.
Well, I did say.
Do they cover?
Yeah, they do. I think they're just a better team than the Bucs are right now. And honestly, the defense has stepped up big time. Big time. This defense is not the defense we saw that went on that stretch of allowing 30-plus in 5 straight games. The Rams, obviously, they couldn't stop Puka Nacua, so I do expect Mike Evans to have a big game here if he can secure the ball.
Need that bounce back by Evans. I love it.
And also because I think they'll be trailing. But I think if the Lions are able to play their brand of football and dominate with the run, which it's the strength of the Lions, but it's also the strength of the Bucs. So something's got to give here. I think the Lions will be able to run the ball down their throat, and I also think Jared Goff will, and their offensive line, who is one of the best in football, like the Eagles, will actually be able to handle the blitz because everyone knows Todd Bowles always comes with 5. He's always blitzing somebody. They're never going with 4. There's always 5 guys rushing the passer. So I do think the Lions play well in this game. I think it's actually hits the under, so I'm going to go with 24-10 Lions.
I love how you just keep saying teams are going to run all over Tampa Bay. Philly didn't do it last week.
Well, Philly didn't really do anything last week.
I think they're going to be able to contain the run game. I don't think either Gibbs or Montgomery are going to go for over 70 yards. Tampa Bay has won 6 of their last 7. That's exactly the type of team you want to target in the postseason. I picked Tampa Bay to beat Dallas in my original bracket. Obviously, Dallas got knocked out, so now Tampa Bay draws Detroit. Yeah, I'm riding with Tampa Bay and Baker Mayfield. They're covering the 6, and they're winning outright. Baker's playing with swagger. He's slanging that thing. Good stat for you guys. First quarterback in Tampa Bay Buccaneers history to throw for 300 yards and 3 touchdowns in a playoff game. Yes, that includes Tom freaking Brady. Unreal.
Wow.
I will acknowledge Detroit beat Tampa Bay in Week 6, 20-6. However, different teams right now. Tampa Bay also 11-6 against the spread in the regular season. They're yet to lose against the spread as 6.5 or more point underdogs. I love the Bucs +6, and I'm riding the hot hand with Baker Mayfield. He's going to torch that secondary. Bucs win outright.
And I will add to your point, Philadelphia also beat the Bucs early on in the season, so it can be done that the second time you see a team around, you can beat them. Like, they obviously have some film on them. They were able to adjust to Philadelphia, so there is a world where the Bucs do adjust and get the win, yes.
Thanks, Reagan. I appreciate your vote of confidence there.
Well, you know what? At the end of the day, I'm unbiased, and I can see there's stats that favor both teams. So
beautiful. All right, last game on the docket. Chiefs at Bills. Bills 3-point favorites at home. The over/under 45.5. You backing Mahomes?
Patrick Mahomes. That's all
it?
you need to hear. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, what other quarterback do you have confidence in? Like you have Patrick Mahomes.
I have a stat for you that's going to really help your
because
argument.
At the end of the day, it's like I'm a Jet fan, so I don't like the Bills. I want to see the Bills get bounced. I do not want Josh Allen, the quarterback we passed on, to do anything. So maybe this is a little biased. But at the end of the day, while Patrick Mahomes struggled for fantasy this year, he is still a great NFL quarterback. And while, I was down on him from a fantasy perspective, he is still the best quarterback in football. I don't think anyone's debating that.
Mahomes?
Right? Yeah.
Is this the same dude that yesterday said Mahomes is in the top 5 dynasty quarterback?
Well,
same dude?
Whoa! What? Did you not listen to what I said?
Flip-flopping?
Hold! You didn't even listen to what I just said. I said for fantasy, while I was down on him, he is still the best NFL quarterback. 2 things can be true. Does it always?
So you're saying the best quarterback in the NFL is not a top 5 fantasy quarterback? How does that make sense?
What? Okay. So I
Explain
guess
that.
Everything on the NFL field always translates to fantasy success.
For a quarterback, it does. They throw the touchdowns.
So
They have the passing yards.
What? Oh, what? He can't just hand off a couple touchdowns, huh?
How is he? Yeah, but everyone fucking does that. How does that help your argument?
Also, the playoffs are a lot different than the regular season. Everything gets thrown out from the regular season. It comes down to, who do you trust? Do you trust Josh Allen, who has never done it? Clearly you do.
This is also the guy who has 2 MVPs, right, in the regular season.
Who?
So, Mahomes.
Yes. But he's also the guy who has the Super Bowl rings. So I'm going to trust the guy who's done it versus the guy who has never done it or even come close to doing it. Hasn't even made the Super Bowl.
That's not what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
You were saying yesterday Mahomes isn't a top 5 dynasty quarterback.
Okay.
But how can he be the best quarterback in the NFL and not be a top 5? I'm not saying top 1
Whoa. Hold
Top
on. Was Tom Brady always a top 5 fantasy quarterback even though he was considered the best quarterback in the NFL?
I'll pull it up for you.
Was he a top 5 quarterback every year? For fantasy? Was he?
I'll pull it up right now for you. Tom Brady's fucking finishes.
Was he? Was he top 5 every year?
He was definitely consistently top 5, yes.
Okay, pull it up.
He was definitely consistently top 5.
Okay, pull it up.
Let's go. Sleepers got him.
Okay.
His last year, 12. 3, 7, 11, 12, 4. He got hurt. 2, 9, 15. Got hurt. 3, 4, 3, 5.
So he was all over the map. All over the map. And that's my point. And did you consider him at any point not the best quarterback in the NFL?
That's 8 top 5 finishes, bro.
Okay, and what about all the other ones outside of the top 5 when he wasn't even top 10? Huh? You just named off more than 5 times where he wasn't even top 5, let alone top 10.
Dude,
Dude, two things can be true. All I'm saying is keep fantasy out of it. I'm talking strictly
It's just
NFL.
ridiculous
I just don't know
It's
why
just
you're
a
trying.
ridiculous
No, I think it's ridiculous that you're even trying to bring
Ridiculous take.
fantasy football into my take of Patrick Mahomes, someone who has done it before. My full confidence is in Patrick Mahomes because he is the better quarterback who has done it before. Josh Allen is the better fantasy quarterback. He is the better fantasy quarterback. Does that mean he's the better NFL quarterback? No.
I never
So stop
said that.
trying to.
I never said that.
But I'm saying
You're
that.
putting words in my mouth.
What I'm saying
I never
is,
said that.
you're putting words in my mouth because you're trying to bring fantasy football into it when I'm just trying to make a point that Patrick Mahomes is the better
I'm
quarterback
talking
who has
about
done
the
it
words
before.
that came out of your mouth. You said,
No,
the
you're
words came out
you're
of your
taking
mouth.
things I've said and then trying to plug them in and make it and act like they make sense but they don't. They don't.
You're just rambling.
No, you're rambling. You're just trying to put words into my mouth.
Those words came out of your mouth.
By your logic-
I'm not putting my words in your mouth.
Okay, stop yelling. By
Seriously,
your
though.
logic.
Seriously.
So by your logic, Josh Allen is a better quarterback because he's a better
I
fantasy
never
quarterback.
fucking said that. I never said that.
But
You're
with
putting
your
words
log-
in my mouth.
'Cause you're putting
I'm
words in my
quoting
mouth.
you. I am quoting you. You're putting words in my mouth. Completely fucking different, you moron.
Nope.
Jesus
No,
Christ.
no.
Completely different.
Nope, I don't think fantasy
My
football is
God.
relevant in this situation. I don't think the
My
stats matter.
God.
It's just me coming down to me having more confidence in Patrick Mahomes. I have more confidence in him. That doesn't mean Josh Allen's a better fantasy quarterback. That doesn't mean he's a better fantasy quarterback than Josh Allen, because he's not. Is he a better fantasy quarterback than Jalen Hurts? No, he's not. Who do I think is better? Patrick Mahomes.
That's two guys. Top
Yes.
5.
Okay. In this playoffs right now, he's the best quarterback.
I agree with you.
Yes. So that's why this is why I'm backing the Chiefs. Talk about why you're backing the Bills.
Well, I picked the Bills with my bracket 1.0, not my 2.0, because I can actually, predict some games here.
Chalk.
Buffalo beat Kansas City in Arrowhead 20-17 in Week 14. I am very nervous, though. Mahomes is 8-1-1 against the spread as an underdog in his career. That is disgusting. Think about that. 8-1-1 as an underdog. Makes me fucking nervous. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't love this matchup for Buffalo. I'm just, I don't know. Josh Allen's been playing really well. I do think it's a low-scoring game. I would take the under. I would not take the over here. Kansas City's defense has been carrying them all year. They're a top 5 defense. Buffalo's defense is clicking recently. I would go the under. But Bills at home, they beat them in Arrowhead. Go beat them in Buffalo. I think the Bills win.
Bills Mafia.
All right, that's all the games, Reagan.
Yes.
I have a question. So, Patrick Mahomes rushing, he kind of turned it on. He got 41 rushing yards. His spread on ESPN Bet right now is 28.5. Do you think that hits?
Playoff Mahomes, yes, because
Playoff Mahomes does scramble.
and that's my point. He's a different quarterback when it comes to the playoffs. He rushes so much more in the playoffs. Just going back to that Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl, you know who scored the first touchdown on a QB scramble, unscheduled thing? Patrick Mahomes. My buddy cashed on it. I think he ran it in from like 10, 15 yards out. He loves to scramble, pick up those big plays on third down. So, yeah, I do like the over in that because, like you said, what did he go for? You said 41 last week? Yeah, he runs a lot more in the playoffs. So
Him to score.
he could. Him anytime touchdown.
Pacheco's a fucking
I don't hate him
dog.
anytime touchdown in any
Josh
game.
Allen, Patrick Mahomes, anytime touchdown parlay?
Oh my god. And you know I love quarterbacks.
That's going to be
Yeah.
juicy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's juicy.
And
Well,
honestly,
Josh
you don't
Allen-
even need the parlay because, like, Mahomes, you're getting good value on anyway. He's probably plus 400 to
Is
score.
Josh Allen a lock to score?
No.
A colossal lock.
I think he's a
No.
lock to score.
Because whenever we say, is he a lock to score, is when he does not score.
Yeah, but then he's
It's
on the 5-yard line, 3-yard line, whatever it is in the red zone.
And that's the
and
that's the week that James Cook goes for
Yeah,
3
I-
touchdowns. That's my point. It's always how it works out.
It's so true.
I would be
Think
nervous
about it.
against this KC defense. They don't allow a ton of touchdowns, but with Josh Allen, he's the second best tush-push QB sneak quarterback in the league behind Hurts, and he also can crib it from 50 yards like he did last week.
Yeah.
That's obviously the game
Wh-
of the week.
what's,
Chiefs Bills. I'm looking at the line.
Yeah, I'd say in terms of, like,
Allen's minus 120. He's been 120 all season long, besides
Yeah.
one game. Pacheco's the next favorite, plus 110.
I'm curious, Mahomes. My guess is plus 400.
Plus 450.
Call me Vegas.
I hope the wheel lands on him. I'm gonna take.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't even think you need the parlay. Like, the value's already there on Mahomes to score. But hey,
But Pacheco's a dog, though. You know, I don't.
yo,
Maybe
parlay
like
like this
10,
week
maybe
plus
like
450.
10,
Really
like
get some
that.
juice for the felt.
Oh my goodness.
Imagine.
Mahomes. It comes down to Sunday night. Mahomes to score to cash the lay. Oh,
He starts scampering.
someone's got to do it. It's not me. I'm on Ayuk. I
I'll
already
be
said it.
I'll be
gonna go
that
back.
sick fuck to do it.
Well, you're the one that takes Hail Marys all the time, so it would fit your narrative.
Oh, are we gonna shake and bake?
No, that's not a thing. That's not a thing.
R.I.P. Jake. Yeah, I mean, you guys got anything else? Any more questions? Otherwise, we'll wrap this show up.
I'm good to go, man. I'm excited to watch these games this weekend.
Guys, as you're listening to this is the last night to order your hoodies. So make sure you do that. Either text one of the members of Around the Felt or go order one through the website. They're honestly great. So it supports us, helps us so we can continue to grow this, but also get better equipment to put out the best content for you guys. So we really appreciate it.
Without our fans, it wouldn't be possible, boys.
Without the fans, there's no felt.
And that's a lock.
That is a lock.
What are we going to do?
Swimming.
Good night.